What's up, guys, and welcome to The Positive Pathway. Today I have a very special guest, Kamil Haque. He is the Artistic Director of Haque Centre of Acting and Creativity, aka HCAC, Singapore's first professional acting studio. Welcome to the show, Kamil.
Hi, Stuart. Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for coming. I understand this week is the 7th birthday of HCAC. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Not just this week, today, right now. I mean,
wow, that's fantastic. Wow. So happy birthday, and let's tell us a bit about what HCA does and what you've achieved in the past 7 years. Happy birthday.
Thank you again. So HCAC, which is short for Haque Centre of Acting and Creativity, as you mentioned, is 7 years old today, and in the last 7 years, we have trained over 3,000 actors, non-actors, creative warriors, teenagers, senior citizens, and everyone in between, essentially. And we're dedicated to helping people find their authenticity, the stories that they want to share. And we're dedicated towards helping them free their talent. And that could be via our acting workshops that my teachers and I do in our studio. It could be through the one-on-one coaching that we do. And also the bulk of the work that we do happens to also be via corporate training, where we go into companies and we bring theater into the workplace, where we bring essentially theater-based tools and skills into the workplace to train the next generation of employees and leaders to be future-proof or to be more EQ savvy, because it's my belief that EQ always trumps AI. Now, in the time that we've been around in these 7 years, many of our actors have gone on to have flourishing careers, not only within Singapore, but regionally and also globally in major Hollywood blockbuster pictures. But also above and beyond just training actors, one of the big delights that I have is the large bulk of our community. I call them creative double-lifers. And to me, a creative double-lifer is someone who is in some sort of parent-approved profession or society-approved profession, meaning you're a lawyer, doctor, banker, businessman, engineer, accountant, and you feel like, okay, I'm leaving graduate school, I want to change the corporate world through X. And then very quickly, the corporate world or society says, ha 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 ha, I laugh at your ambitions. No, you will fit in like everyone else. And so what happens to a lot of these people is the fire that they had going into the corporate world is very quickly diminished or sadly in some cases extinguished. And so what they do is a lot of these creative double-lifers, they come to us, to the studio after work hours or on weekends to find ways to restoke that fire, to restoke the thing that got them excited in the first place. And whether it's by literally having a second life, meaning they have their 9 to 5, 9 to 6, and then they have this arts-based personal expression second identity that they straddle, or maybe, as I've said, they're looking to pick up tools and skills, essential tools and skills, not just soft skills, but essential tools and skills that help them be better in their personal lives or professional lives. Or maybe they're looking for a safe space where they can simply be themselves, or perhaps it's a place where they can just meet like-minded people, because there's something to be said about the world where we live in, where 3 in 5 relationships are made online, where you could be sitting in the next cubicle as someone for 20 years and not really know them, or they don't really know you. And to have a space where essentially all bets are off, you can be who you want to be. And so HCAC is a space where we dedicate to people to be whoever they want to be. And above and beyond that, the space also houses my sister company, Method Productions, where in the 6 years we've been around, we have now produced more than 100 different productions of all sizes and scales for various performing arts mediums. And essentially, it's open to anyone and everyone from all walks of life to take part. And so whether it's myself or other directors, we train them, we coach them, we guide them, we curate them, we give them all the expertise that we know from the arts to give them a platform to know that the arts is for everyone, and it isn't exclusive, and it shouldn't be exclusive. So that has been the journey up to this point.
Fantastic, Kamil. It sounds like you're really igniting everyone's fires at HCAC. Now, every time I see you, Kamil, you always have such a wonderful smile. Is there a secret to your smile, or is it part of some kind of positive life strategy, perhaps?
It is, you know, I can't say I consciously go out of my way to smile. I just know that, for one, I think it's a case of shared resonance. There are some people that you meet, and you being one of them, Stuart, is every time you meet them, you naturally want to smile. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
And you know, everything exists in a transaction, a give and take, a cause and effect. And if someone gives you a reason to smile, whether it's conscious or unconscious, you naturally just want to go, all right, here's my gift to you. Here's my smile. There are, I feel like I particularly, maybe if I think about it a little bit, I find myself smiling more when I'm around people who are genuinely passionate about things. I find myself smiling when I'm around people who are curious about things, who are willing to question things, people who are interested in the human condition, because selfishly, that's something that genuinely interests me. And very quickly, you can tell when someone is interested, because already they become the most interesting thing in that room. And in all the conversations I've had with you, Stuart, you are so deeply interested in martial arts, in practicing positivity, in working with people. How can I not smile? And so it naturally wants to, shine off my face, I guess is the word.
Yes, it's very reflective, the smile, isn't it?
Mm.
Now, I'm very interested in how people overcome obstacles and remain positive in their daily life. Now, being in the arts industry, I'm sure you've come across plenty of challenges and obstacles along the way. How do you manage to stay with a positive mindset?
You know, there are a couple strategies that I've learned over time in terms of maintaining that positive mindset. There are two things that I do for myself pretty much on a daily basis. So I'll share those with you, and then I'll share the other ones that I have learned to sort of adapt into my routine over time. So the two that I do on a daily basis are, I practice a lot of self-talk, because while as you said, I almost always have a smile, believe it or not, there are a lot of negative self-talk patterns that happen within me. I know that I'm pretty much my own biggest enemy. And so very often, because I'm constantly judging myself or judging the work that I do, or critical of the work that I do, or suffering from some sort of imposter syndrome, then what I have to do is, every time a negative thought pattern comes, I do one of these two things. So say, for example, my belief in my head is, what if people don't like me? And then I acknowledge that as a real thing, and that thought as a real thing. And then I add on this phrase, up till now. Or what if I don't know how to do or run this workshop? Up till now. What if I forget my lines? Up till now. What if there's no connection? Up till now. And so that up till now for me gives me a chance to not pretend that that negative self-talk doesn't exist. It does exist, so I may as well acknowledge it. And instead of pretending it isn't there, then it goes from one butterfly to 10,000 butterflies. Or to fight it, meaning I deny it. No, I cannot think that way. Then it becomes sort of like stuck in the pipes, so to speak. I acknowledge it for it to be there. And then I say, okay, I've given you the time. Now I need you to move along so that I have the possibility and opportunity for something else. And it simply comes with the words up till now. The other thing that I've noticed for myself is, with time, I have developed maybe a little bit of self-awareness and sensitivity to when I begin to notice tension creep into my body, psychophysically in that sense. And when I notice these specific tics or mannerisms that I begin to embody, for example, one of them that I have is, and I've never done a ballet class in my life, is I somehow always point my right foot out, like I'm in like ballet first position or something. I don't know where that comes from. And when I notice that, I immediately say to myself, there's that thing that I do. And the moment I call out, there's that thing that I do internally, it almost becomes like an instant, like inauthentic alarm or a BS alarm, to be politically correct. And I immediately go, whoop, I gotta get back in control, and I call out the elephant in the room a little bit, and then I sort of get present one more time. So up to now, and there's that thing that I do, is something I'm constantly practicing all the time. Above and beyond that, truth be told, what really sort of keeps me positive and grounded a lot are my friends. My friends who know me, who know maybe perhaps the real me, who also give me the permission to speak my mind and are willing to listen to whatever I have to say, and they are so empathetic and so the word is they're so patient with me and my process and my thinking that they sometimes just know, today Kamil just needs someone to listen to so we can dump on them. Today Kamil needs like a firm, like, let's redirect you. Today Kamil needs just a gentle pat on his back. And they always somehow know how to realign me, so to speak. So yeah.
Wow, I think it's amazing how everyone has their own personal strategies, and I haven't heard up till now before, but it sounds like it's working like a treat for you, Kamil.
I'd say so.
Now, with regards to your students, I know you have a range of different types of students, but is there anything that you advise them that's kind of related to positive thinking or a positive attitude?
Absolutely. So there are a couple things that I teach them in the line of my work. So interestingly, it wasn't conscious at first, but I did realize one thing that has seemingly been sort of viral within the community that I teach is this phrase that I use, which is, when you're interested, you're interesting. And when you're deeply interested, it's not just in the big picture ideas and concepts, but even in the most mundane minutiae of things, because oftentimes it really is in the mundane minutiae of things that life really begins to reveal itself, whether it's a gesture, a micro gesture, the color of something, the shape of something. To be deeply curious allows you to almost become like Neo in the Matrix, and you sort of see like the code of the universe a little bit. And I genuinely believe that ability to observe the world for what it is allows you to be more participatory, but also happier within the world. Above and beyond that, the big principle that I teach people is the concept of PMSS, which stands for physical, mental, spiritual, and then self-care / self-soothe. So these are principles in which the first three, the P, M, and S, is designed to help people get in the zone to turn themselves on in whatever field of work that they do, be it arts or non-arts related. And then specifically for this conversation that we're having, Stuart, it's about the final S, which is identifying strategies of self-soothing and self-care, so that when they do their work and their work, which must have cost them something, whether it's physical, mental, or spiritual, their batteries are drained just a wee bit, or maybe a lot, then what are the things that they can do to self-soothe, meaning the strategies, the tools, the skills, the activities, the friends, you name it, to help them get back up to neutral? And then what are the strategies, the tools and skills that they can practice self-care, which is not just get up to neutral, but to charge up their batteries, so to speak. And so I help people sort of figure out what is and what are some of their self-soothing and self-caring strategies and tools.
Fantastic. Now, in the COVID times we're presently being faced with, do you still have workshops running at HCAC?
Yeah, I do. I mean, you're right. These are some crazy, curious, turbulent times that we live in, and in order for us to continue to thrive and be sustainable, we have pivoted the work that we do from these kinesthetic in-person workshops to now online workshops, where for now they are perhaps a stopgap measure. Who knows how long they'll last for? But certainly they are the best means available of maintaining a level of human connection, of maintaining a level of art education. And now in the last 2 months, I've noticed that there are ways and means of adapting the online medium to even be an entertainment platform, not just for pre-recorded material like film and TV and Netflix, but even for live material. And so we have found ways to make that viable so that our community knows that we still see them, we still hear them, we still want to be with them, and we want to make sure that in this time when it feels like nothing seems to work, that they know that HCAC has been there for them, will be there for them, and will always be there for them, whether it's online or offline.
And I believe, if I'm not wrong, that you had a show recently that not only was live online, but you even had catered deliveries going to people's houses. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. So here in Singapore, our version of the lockdown is called Circuit Breaker. And what we did was, for the final Friday of Circuit Breaker, we did a collaboration with a bar called Native Bar. Shout out to BJ and friends. They are literally the 12th best bar in the world.
12, wow.
And they sell their drinks online, so support Native, support local. So we did a collaboration with them where they deliver gin-based cocktails to people's houses in Singapore, and also non-alcoholic drinks to houses within Singapore. And the purchase of that drink or any of those drinks, or maybe just a ticket, allowed you to be a part of an online and interactive variety show that we staged on Zoom, which comprised of live singing, of live storytelling, live spoken word, a couple short films, a virtual play set in native, where we used the virtual backgrounds of Zoom and we changed them into the native bar. So all the punters who are used to going to native bar, they got a sense of what it's like to be back in the bar, even though they can't yet be. And we also made it interactive, so there was interactive games and conversations with people. People were allowed to chat online. And so this is what I mean about understanding that already pre-COVID, people were leaning towards interactivity and wanting maybe a little bit more control over the kind of art that they're fed. And so instead of shying away from it, why not lean into it entirely and let people be a part of this art making process and work with companies who are open to the possibility of collaboration? Because in a time like this, the more that we can have conversations, collaborations, cooperation, just a chance to experiment, I think people are more willing now than ever to say, listen, what can I do to help? And so this is our way of giving back to the community, which is, hey, here are some drinks, here's some entertainment, join us, let's celebrate even in the bleakest of times.
Yes, it sounds like HCAC is the perfect example of taking a negative situation and turning it into something positive.
I'd like to think so.
Yes. And I think we might end it there, Kamil. What a great way to end the show. Thank you so much for being on the show, Kamil.
Thank you.
And I'd like to thank all of the viewers for watching. And if you want to find out more about Kamil and HCAC, the links are in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe and respect.